My dear kids, I am back with the continuation of the explanation of the second part of the frogs in the fountain. Let us have a quick recap about the first part. We have discussed about the marigold flowers which have been grown in the country everywhere else. We are using it for the festivals, marriages, religious ceremonies, arrivals and departures and functions of all kinds, and we use in the public occasion or welcoming the with garlands or in the sad or the happy movement. Here Gautam has discussed about the double chin which he had, and you can, what is double chin, you can see on your mobile screen. And he loved the mutton koftas, where his grandmother used to stop him to eat only two, but now he is an independent and working man. As he has grown, he wants to eat more koftas, but now for him, Dr. Best is stopping him to eat only two koftas with a little bit rice. So let us see what is going to happen in the second part of the frogs in the fountains. So dear kids, let us see. The fountain hadn't functioned for a couple of years, but the little reservoir in which it stood had filled up with rain water and was now covered with water lilies. One day, after an expedition to the canal headwork, I brought home some small fish in a bucket and introduced them to the lily pond. I hadn't paid much attention to the tadpoles swimming around in the bucket. The fountain, which was not functioning for many years, but there was a little reservoir. Here reservoir is a lake where water is stored, where he brought some small fish in a bucket and just he has put into a lily pond. And he has not given much attention to the tadpoles which were swimming around in the bucket. What are tadpoles? Yes, tadpoles are the larvae of the amphibians like frogs. Well, the fish died as they were used to fresh running water and not stagnant water. But the tadpoles did very well, and before long we had frogs leaping all over the place very soon. The frogs multiplied. All the fish died because of the running water, and not the stagnant water, but the tadpoles were very well. They grown up into the frogs leaping all over the place, and they were multiplied, means there were many frogs very soon. They would come into the veranda at night and keep us awake with their incessant singing and warbling. I can't sleep a wink, complained Aunt Mabel, who was sensitive to noise and allergic to choirs made up entirely of bass singers. They are serenading you, I said. It was a long time since anyone had serenaded Aunt Mabel, a confirmed spinster in her early 40s. As the frogs were multiplied, they would come into the veranda and make some noise. Incense means continuously, never stopping making noise, and that would destroy the sleep of Aunt Mabel. And she was very sensitive, and she could not tolerate the sound of the frogs made by it. And just they were making hell of noise for a long time, and Aunt Mabel could not confirmed in her spinster's time. What is spinsters? The girl who is not married is called a spinster. They will go away once the rain finished, said Gran, hopefully. But they did not go away. One day screams came from the bathroom. Aunt Mabel screaming for help. Granny, the Khansama, and I ran to her aid and discovered that the cause of her distress was a large frog swimming around in the potty. As Aunt Mabel was not sleeping at night because of the many frogs, so that Granny said that the frogs will go away when the rain finish, hopefully. But next day there was a scream coming out from the bathroom when Aunt Mabel and the Khansama is a cook, they rushed to see what had happened in the bathroom. They just saw that Aunt Mabel was a little bit stressed because of a large frog was swimming around in the potty. Yeah, it happens with you. What you will do? Happens with us, we surely come out of the bathroom shouting and screaming. I pulled the flush chain. There was a loud gurgling sound and a combination of a frog and a flush, and out jumped the frog straight into Aunt Mabel's arm. She left for Lucknow that day, saying she would be safer in a zoo where her cousin was the superintendent. As they heard the voice of the Aunt Mabel, just they want to remove the frog from the potty. Then they just flushed the chain, and the sound was the flowing water sound was been there, and what happens, the frog straightly jumped into the Aunt Mabel's arm. Then so she left the place to stay with her cousin in a zoo, who was a superintendent in the zoo. Well, Granny hired some laborers to empty the lily pond and round up as many frogs as they could. They were put into a basket and taken to some mysterious destination. When Aunt Mabel decided to go from there, Granny hired some laborers. She called the laborers to clean the pound and empty the frogs, and they were taken. All the frogs were taken to some of the place, some mysterious destination. Perhaps they have been exported to China. I mused, or even to France. They eat frogs there, don't they? These Chinese, as you know, they eat all such things. They were exported, means they were sent to China or to the France. But after listening this, Granny said, "Only the legs," said Granny. But they didn't. But they hadn't been exported. The consummate told me later that the basket had been opened and dumped near a pound behind the railway station, and before long they were all over the station, waiting rooms and platforms, until the station master had a brilliant idea. He had the frogs rounded up by a number of street urchins who wanted to make a little pocket money. He then had them packed firmly into several well ventilated boxes. When Granny said that they will eat only legs, then the Khansama, he told that the basket full of frogs were being opened and dumped near the pound behind the railway station, and just they were waiting near the waiting room and the platforms until the station master had a brilliant idea to remove all the frogs. They were the number of street urchins. Street urchins are the homeless or orphan children who live on the streets, and they just who wanted to make a little pocket money. So they had them packed firmly into the several boxes, which were ventilated boxes. They can easily breathe. The crates were labeled to Lucknow Zoo at the Superintendent Sahib and dispatched as a free gift. A zoo is the best place for creatures, great and small, opined our philosophical station master, who had previously sent them a consignment of stray station dogs. When the orphan children packed the frogs into a ventilated box, they were sent to the Superintendent Sahib to the gift as a free gift to the zoo. I think that the best place for the animals or the creatures is the zoo, where consignment for a stray dogs are also kept over there. So this was a story about the frogs in the fountain. Here we have completed the unit 2, the course book, the frogs in the fountain. So till then, take care. Bye.